Hey everybody, Mr. D here from Acro Kids. Hope everyone is doing really well at home, tough times. So I'm here today to show you how to create the ultimate parkour obstacle course in your backyard. Lots of fun. It's going to involve mum and dad, it's going to involve you, and absolutely involve your imagination. We're going to have a look at some of the skills you're going to need, some ideas you might have, and some ways to make sure that you're safe while you're having fun. We'll show you some games that you can play and some things that you can do that involves mum and dad having some fun too, which is always lots of fun. Are we ready to go? Let's do it. All right, so the first thing we really need to look at is 3 different types of games that you can play. Very, very simple games. One does involve a stopwatch, and that's quite simply a time trial. You can have some starting gates. Luckily, I've got these back from the old PT days, but you can use anything, a pair of chairs, pair of socks, whatever you need on the ground. Starting line. Don't dig it up in case your dad and mum have just laid some fabulous grass. So something that can easily be picked up after you're finished. Starting point, zip through the course, boom, and it's also your finish line. So your timer can be right here, ready to go. The other game is pretty simple. It's just a bit of freestyle. Freestyle is just literally where you're running anywhere you want to, as much as you can, and you're just trying all the different tricks that you know how to do and know how to do safe. If you just want to stop at a spot and just work on your commando rolls on the ground and coming back up onto your feet in the run, that's an example of something that's freestyle that allows you to keep on moving. You can open your gate, run up and down your driveway, whatever you need to do. Lots of fun, a lot more cardio involved in that one, so because you're going for a long period of time. The third game is pretty cool. I like to call it Chase the Ace, and it's a bit of a chasey game as well, but I'll get into the explanation of how that happens a bit later. So we're going to have a bit of a look at how you can create your own obstacle course or parkour course. Pretty simple. You're going to need your mum and your dad's permission and understanding of the things you want to do. We want to be able to use stuff that exists in your backyard or things that your mum and dad say, okay, you can take that outside. Like a pair of socks, for example. Socks are very useful for a whole lot of things, let me tell you. One of the things I've got here is just one of my cable ties. I've got it down and I've drawn an arrow. So even if I wanted to change a little bit later, I can also quite simply change the direction of my course just like so. Really, really simple tool and very easy to use. You can use socks, get a pair of socks and just point an arrow or, boom, in, and that's a little simple thing if you haven't got any cable ties. It's important to understand the direction that you want to follow in your course so that there's no accidents that might occur with head-on collisions or just whack straight into a wall because you're running as fast as you can. So you've got to be safe. Now, I'm lucky to have a whole lot of stuff lying around in my house, and this is what I've came up with. I love tunnels. Tunnels are getting good for getting down on the ground and then getting your bodies back up. Great exercise. You could put a couple of chairs, a couple of beams across there, or a blanket over the top so you're creating a tunnel. They're very easy. I just happen to have an old dog fence there ready to go with a picnic mat over the top. Really, really simple. I've got another piece here that's just really there as a directional piece. So I feel like I've got a pathway. And pathways are very, very cool, especially when you're playing the chasey games. Now, I built my backyard. So I built my own cliff of disaster in my own backyard, which is really, really cool. But you may not have these sort of things, but it's important to understand if you do have a drop down, it is definitely something you can use as long as you're probably not jumping in the garden bed. Ask mum and dad, is it safe to jump down? If it is, awesome. Another great thing we've got in our backyard, and a lot of people do, if you don't stress, I've got some ideas for you, but if you've got your own monkey bar set as well, you've got the options therefore of adding that somehow, using your ingenuity, whatever you can do to come up with. Obviously, if you've got the hanging part and you can hang and swing, do that. If you've got other parts where you're jumping under and you can go under, that as well. Sometimes you can put a hanging rope down and you can move this out the way and swing. It's your ideas that you can come up with. Have fun with it, experiment, make sure mum and dad thinks it's safe and it's okay to go. If that's the case, always use your monkey bars in your parkour course. Okay, so we're looking for bits that we can use as obstacles and things to avoid, go under, go over, go around. I like using pool noodles. They can be straight on the ground, they can be bent to create tunnels. Very, very cool. We've got tie downs here as well that you can hang so that you can zip underneath or whatever it may be. You can put them low enough and you can make those a hurdle. Depending on the challenge and the age of the kids, sometimes they can just step over. So we've got those. Again, you can do different exercises depending on what shapes you do, where you're jumping from side to side, jumping over, diving over, all types of different exercises. You've just got to come up with it. Think about it. Oh, I've got a watering can, I've got eskies, I've just got bits. You put them on the ground, they've got to go around or they've got to jump over. Some of them are a little bit stronger and sturdier, so you can absolutely use them to climb on, jump down. But just again, make sure that mum and dad has checked it all and it is safe to do. Okay, so another simple thing to do is, if you've got an outdoor setting, is to put two of them back to back. What you'll find with chairs is that when they're back to back like this, they actually support each other and they're designed to therefore help with the resistance. So you can quite comfortably put hands together on it or hands over and just jump over, or you can step down, up and over. Again, it's just a three-dimensional object that is assisting with making it difficult running around your back. Check mum and dad have made sure it's safe and that you've got reasonably strong and not old and decrepit pieces of equipment that you're trying to use. So commando rolls and safety commando rolls are really cool. For freestyle running, it's all about being able to hit the ground and get back up as quickly as you can. Sometimes that happens because you trip. Sometimes it happens because you're diving over something. Sometimes it happens because you just think, that is a cool space and I'm gonna do my commando roll. Now remember, a commando roll is not a forward roll. We are talking about the ability of pushing our hands to one side and rolling over our shoulder as opposed to our head. That's the important part. You still need to tuck your chin, but like I said, I go to the left. I like to put my hands down, rolling onto my shoulder, and my legs come over. Of course, you're more comfortable, you can go to the right as well. It kind of looks like this. You don't need much space, but it does need to be nice and soft landing. Here we go, down, up onto my feet as quickly as I can. So commando rolls are very, very cool for fun, but we can also use them as our safety. Now, a motorbike jump is very simple, where we jump down on something and we land in our motorbike shape. But sometimes when we're on the move, when we're free running or playing these parkour games, it's very hard to stop and land in your motorbike. So therefore, a commando roll safety roll is what comes into play. Here's how it works. I come up, I'm running down. Instead of stopping, I hit the ground and I go straight into my roll, and then I'm up onto my feet as quickly as I can. It just takes the momentum out of it and I fall. Now just remember, move your hands to the side and roll over your shoulder. When you want safety, you don't put your hands straight down, locked arms. That's one of our big no-nos. You've got to protect yourself. Rolling over your shoulder still involves you tucking your arms in, tucking your head in, or putting your hands to the side so your body moves and goes over safely. You're not jarring or jolting your body. It's the same thing if you had a fall. You're swinging on the bar, you come through, whoops, I've let go too fast. I don't want to fall back and put my hand down. What I actually want to do is tuck up in a ball, tuck my chin, and sometimes I'm just going to go oof, falling on my back. But it's a lot better than putting your arm out. And you might be a bit winded, but you'll be able to keep on moving after that. Reversing course is sometimes what you've got to do. So coming up a cliff, what you've got here is a nice big tuck jump up you can do, or you can even do a diving commando roll to get up the hill and go into it. What you need to do with your dive rolls or big jumps is make sure you've got passage there. I know you're thinking about it. Those guys with a big jump, you're thinking, can I make it over to there? I don't mind. Have a go what you want to have a go with, but make sure that your landing area and therefore your crash area on the other side of it is clear of obstacles. I'm ready, I'm set, and boom, off I go into a commando roll. Rolling up, dodging my obstacle, up and over, down I go, commando style. Hands and toes or hands and knees. Up I go, big jump down, land into my safety commando. Up on the bar, big swing, big tuck jump over. Using my obstacles, snap, under and over. Whoop. Running around in circles, 4 jumps. Boom. Up, commando roll again, trying to go the other way, up and over. Dodging the dog, up in, spin,